It's Rose Rosetree, and this Skilled Empath Merge is in honor of a professional athlete who was not able to be at the Olympics, and yet you can observe him plenty elsewhere. So his name is Cristiano Ronaldo, and he was nominated for one of the contests at my blog where people nominate people to have Skilled Empath Merge or aura reading or face reading, depending on what I'm offering. And this was Vanya's winning entry of 3. I gave gold, silver, and bronze. This is the silver one. He wrote, "I would like to nominate soccer player Cristiano Ronaldo, considered one of the best in his field. I am fascinated by him, especially as his personality seems to be full of contradictions. He is portrayed as egregiously narcissistic and selfish, yet is known to be one of the most charitable athletes around, and is one of the few soccer players without tattoos, as this would render him unable to donate blood." Ooh, I wonder how many people would line up to get some of his blood. Anyway, just saying, back at Vanya, I guess I would like to know what's really going on there. Also, I think he's a winner because he just never seems to give up. He keeps on wanting to improve, to be the best. His passion for his country at the recent Euro Champions was in direct contrast to his also brilliant, and many say better, contemporary Leo Messi. And by the way, I've read his aura at my blog as well. You can find it at roserosetree.com blog and type in Leo Messi into the search box. So anyway, he was in direct contrast. Cristiano was in direct contrast to Leo, who said he would no longer be playing for his country as they never win. Cristiano never seems to let his despondency get the better of him for too long. I admire that. I just want to add to Vanya's lovely nomination that when I was searching for a good photo to use for this Skilled Empath Merge, I read he's been called the world's highest paid athlete, yet underpaid. And he's been called the world's greatest athlete of all time. Now, I have put together an introductory YouTube about how I do these Skilled Empath Merges, at least an introduction. And you can find it. It is Skilled Empath Merges on world-class athletes. Without further ado, let's research Cristiano. Starting off with the experience of his root chakra DATABANK for physical self-awareness. Oh, this is my preparation process. It's just something that you do when you learn Skilled Empath Merge, at least the way I teach it. So I know it's not normal, but it's what I need to do this. This is such a man. He's really interested in being powerful and everybody noticing him and being outstanding and being the one most important one. I know this isn't only about people who were born in male bodies, etc., but it just, in my experience, this is often how some people in male bodies do relate to being a man. And sometimes it's a burden for them, but not for this guy, because he's really doing this fantasy life of being like the ultimate most studly, powerful, manly man, and winning at it, and even being acknowledged by the multitudes and making that money. Not that I found money in there or multitudes, just this overwhelming sense of, I am the man. Not my usual experience in this lifetime. Now, on to his belly chakra data bank for flow of energy while competing. There's an organizing principle that he has. Cristiano has a very definite ego, a sense of self as an important man who makes things happen. And energy flows through him to support that. He believes it. He doesn't just believe in himself, he experiences long-term believing in himself, and I suspect results and statistics that back it up. And it's all just like the apotheosis of the human ego. How great, how godlike he can feel as a person because he uses his body and his skills to compete. Really, it's unabashedly human and egoic and quite delightful. Over now to his solar plexus chakra data bank for using power while competing. He's got a real talent for noticing causation. What happens if I do this, that will happen. If I do this, that will happen. If I do the ball this way, that will happen. If there are these people on the field and I do this, that will happen to them. It's almost like the way a mathematician thinks, to my experience. And so that gets plugged in, sort of like an app, when he's competing. And so he experiences the calculation going on in an energetic and subconscious way. And using power means I push here, I pull there, I do this spin here, and that makes a whole cascade of results happen. And it's so seamless, it really works very much as our computers help us. And this is supporting the other things I was saying before. It's one reason why he is so successful. And it just goes on its own for him. And I will just make a point, in case you've been feeling a little jealous of Cristiano, that you too have all these chakra data banks and talents and ways of being you that are distinctive in this amazing creation of life on Earth. And this one lifetime, even if you believe you live many, many, many times, which I happen to believe, you only live once as you. And the particular set of capacities that make up your soul expression are unique. And it is so glorious when we meet people who are really unabashedly doing what they do and doing it in their way. And they've learned skills to make it better. And they own those skills that they use in integrity to support what makes them happy. Meanwhile, back to this experience of Cristiano, let's go over to his heart chakra data bank for emotional stability. All right. Well, it's very simple for him. He doesn't care about anybody. It's all about me, me, me. His team is all about me, me, me. His team supports him. Yeah, he might do some things that would seemingly support the team, but in terms of how he's wired, how he functions, it's all about him. And he's loving it. What a great way to live. So different from how many of us do. And then we go on over to the third eye chakra data bank for reading energies while competing. Reading energies. Does he do it? Doesn't he bother? Here we go. Yeah, he does experience energetically what's going on with every single player on that soccer field. And it does seem like this is part of the app or talent that Cristiano has going for him as a soccer professional, where it's like he scans the energies of everybody just the way an app might scan something, and then translates it into causation, and then his body just automatically responds because of that's what feels right to me, given those subconscious downloads, and he just follows through and gives himself the credit. Like, oh yeah, I know what I need. He probably doesn't even consciously know about this app that I am noticing when I do Skilled Empath Merge with him, because it sure is a contrast from how Rose Rosetree lives. Oh, man. Then, over to the Third Eye Chakra DATABANK for connection to spiritual source. It's really kind of insignificant for him. You know, some of us couldn't survive in life unless we believed in God and found some way to experience God that worked for us. I'm one of those people. I just couldn't have made it through my childhood and my adult years. Oh my. Even though it was not as developed as it is by now, after many years of spiritual practice and service and, being on my path. Some of us need that. Some of us live and don't need it. Some of us don't want it, including some proud atheists whose auras I've read or I've done Skilled Empath Merge with them. And I admire atheism as a spiritual path, even if atheists might not want to think they're on a spiritual path. But it can be such a way of taking responsibility for one's own life. Seems to me Cristiano's one of those people who's so extremely successful in every worldly way that he doesn't feel that he needs some God to worship. He's not worshiping himself, but he's just being a human, and he probably, judging from my experience of this DATABANK on him, he doesn't understand really why other people would need a God. He doesn't. Can't you just do your best? Can't you just stay in shape? Gotta love Earth School. That's one of my mottos in the field of RES. Rosetree Energy Spirituality for long, RES for short. Yeah, gotta love Earth School. We're all so different. And then the last DATABANK here is the High Heart Chakra DATABANK for Soul Thrill. Does he do what makes his soul happy in this moment, competing? So here's the deal with Cristiano at this time. Yeah, there's some kind of tickle around soul expression for him, a good feeling, but it's not a big deal because he's getting such a rush, a human type rush from his success and the adoration of the crowd and the fame and the money and being so gosh darn good at all of this. It's like, who cares about what is my distinctive suchness in life and what uniquely is mine to do? He's found his way, and he's probably one of the last people on earth who would ever want to watch this energetic literacy exercise of a Skilled Empath Merge, because he doesn't need it. He's got human life, and he is so adapted to being human. It serves him well. I hope that you have enjoyed this peek into a way of being someone who may be very different from you too. This was Rose Rosetree. Feel free to check out my website and my blog for loads of other skilled empath merges and other goodies for empaths and non-empaths. It's roserosetree.com. Bye for now.